Hey everyone, welcome back to SPGuide Academy. My name is Yasit. Today we'll learn one of the most important topic in Microsoft Copilot Studio experience. We'll learn how to use SharePoint List as a knowledge source. Most importantly, I will compare two complete different approach. One is the SharePoint List as a knowledge source and the another one is the SharePoint List using tool using get item action. Many beginners think these two methods are the same, but actually they are completely different. Let's understand step by step. Before you tell you how to do, let's talk about one business scenario. Let's imagine you are building an HR Copilot. Employee asks question like what is the leave policy? How many casual leave do I get? What is maternity leave? What is work from home policy? All these answers already exist inside a SharePoint list. Now there are two ways to let Copilot answer. Method 1 is give the SharePoint list as a knowledge source. The AI read the information and answer is naturally. The method 2 is using get item action. The agent actually query the SharePoint list at runtime and retrieve the records. Both work, but they are solve different problems. So before I tell you, let's see the SharePoint list. So this is the SharePoint list which I created. The list name is HR policy, and here I added the title column, category, description, then applicable department, status, last updated, then policy owners. And these are the records I added, right? So now let's open the Microsoft Copilot Studio. You can visit this copilotstudio.microsoft.com and it will open this type of interface. This is the home page of new Copilot experience. So if you don't know what is Copilot Studio and how to create your first agent, I already record two video. You can check that video. I provided the video link in the description below. So in this example, we'll create a new agent where we can give the SharePoint list as a knowledge source. So to create an agent, you can go here and click on this one agent. Otherwise, go to the agents. Then here we can click the agent, new agent. So why it is new agent? So now it is giving two way to create the agent. One is the new agent, another is the classic agent. For this example, I want to create a new agent within this new experience. That's why I click this new agent. So once we will click that one, it will open this type of interface where you can give a name for your agent. So here we will remove this one. So here I gave my SharePoint agent. So then we need to provide SharePoint list as a knowledge source. This is our first method. So to do that one, you can see in this right hand side knowledge, right? And you can see search all website. If you click on this one, it is showing here you can give the public website, but for this example we do want to give the SharePoint list as a knowledge source. So I'll close this one and I will remove this one. So you need to click on this plus icon. Once we'll click on that one, you can see add knowledge. So here we can add different type of knowledge source. You can add the public website, OneDrive files and SharePoint thing. So also here you can drag and drop the or any document. If you add that one, this agent use that particular document as a knowledge source. For this example, we'll give the SharePoint list. So click on this SharePoint. So here we need to provide the URL. Also you can browse that one and select the particular list, but I'll prefer go to your list and copy the list URL. I copied the list URL and put it here. Once I'll put it, you can see the add option is pop up. Click on add. Once you click on add, you can see it is identify that list and it's showing. If you want to change the list name, here the display name you can change it, and it is added some description. If you want to add any more description, you can add. For this example, I will not add any other description. I'll just click on add to the agent. Once I'll click add to the agent, you can see it here. The SharePoint list is added. Next, we need to provide the instruction. You can provide the instruction how the agent will behave. So for this example, I provided this instruction, and you can give the instruction based on your requirement. So if you don't want to give the instruction, that time it will work. But the thing is, now we are just adding one knowledge source. If there is multiple knowledge source, that time the instruction is most important, and this is the best way to give the instruction in every agent. So I already gave the instruction. You can see it here, and you can see here I clearly mention, do not make up the and assume the information. For example, whatever the information present in the SharePoint list, use that information, not create your own information and get from the internet, right? So I'll go to the preview. Here we can test it our agent. So first question I'll ask, explain the work from home policy. So once I click on this one, you can see it is working on it, and now it is searching the result in the knowledge source, and next it is analyzing the skill, then it is loading the skill, means one skill thing is present, it is loading that one, and now you can see it is giving the answer. You can see work from home policy it is gave, right? If I click on this one, you can see that particular item it will open, right? This is the see the work from home policy, and these are the things it's open. And in the key highlight, it is explain the work from home policy, whatever the present in that list. You can see it here, right? So this is the one way to add the SharePoint list as a knowledge source in the Copilot Studio agent. So this knowledge source work best when we are adding the document, policies, FAQs, guidelines, or manually documents. This knowledge is amazing, right? But what if you need the live business data? For example, show me all pending leave requests or who submitted today expense. So this knowledge source cannot directly rely on the live data. Means live data in the sense that time we want to show in particular things, right? Means who submitted that one. That time the another second method is good for Copilot agent. So let's see how to do that one. So before explaining the second method, if you are serious about building the real Microsoft 365 and Power Platform solution, I have something that can help you. At SPGuide.academy, we have created a complete learning platform for beginner, developer, and professional. With this single one-year membership, you will get to access SharePoint Online, SPFX like SharePoint Framework, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, Copilot Studio, and PowerShell. Along with that, 25 plus production ready Power Platform and SPFX solution. You will receive also the project based training, PDF, source code, and all the resources. Also, the WhatsApp private community access. Along with that, you will also get the monthly live session and webinars. So this course recorded by the Vijay Kumar. He is a Microsoft MVP with 18 years experience of building real Microsoft 365 and Power Platform solution. If you want to move from learning concept to building a real client project, check this membership link in the description below. You can also book a free consultant call. So let's see the next example. So to do the next example, I'll go to this build section, and here I will remove this knowledge source, because if you give the two times the same SharePoint list, it will maybe check the second one. Why? Because we alert this one is the first. So next method is the we will use the tool. So tool is helping to connect the external system to this agent. So in this example, we'll add the SharePoint list as a knowledge source, right? So click on this plus tools. So here you can see lot of external system is present. You can see here in the featured Outlook present, SharePoint, Excel, Microsoft Dataverse, OneDrive, Teams. Also, you'll go to this MCP. Lot of MCP also present. You can see it here. And the third one is the connector. Every connector is present. You can see it here, right? So for this example, we want only SharePoint. So here in the search, you can directly search get items. Otherwise, go to this SharePoint. Here, if you scroll down, you will see the get items. If you already work in Power Automate, you know right what is get item action. So get item action is used to get the item in the SharePoint list. So it will retrieve all the item which is present in the SharePoint list. Means we need to give the SharePoint list URL and name. So I will click on this get items. Here you can see. So here you can see it is showing the get items. If you want, you can change the name, add some description, and authentication mode. If you want, you can change. So I will not change anything here. Let's go to the input section. Here you can see SharePoint list, and this is the mandatory field we need to provide. So now we can see it is filtered by AI, but we need to provide the value. So I'll click on this value and then select this one. Then we'll click the add variable. Once you click add variable, go to the SharePoint site and copy this SharePoint site URL and paste it here. Once you paste, click on save. Now you can see it is added, right? SharePoint site. Next we need to add the SharePoint list. Same way, we'll go to this value and select. So here I'll create a new variable. Then what we need to do, go to here, I'll copy this HR policies name and provide it here. Then click on save. Once I'll click on save, you can see it is appearing here, right? Then if you want to pass any particular filter query, you can pass it here. Otherwise, I will not change anything. Simply click on this save button. Once you click on this save button, the get items tool is successfully added. Now we'll test this. It is working fine or not. So you can see this is the instruction we added before. I'll change this instruction. So now I will change this instruction. So this time I added this. This is the instruction. You are a HR assistant. Use the get HR policy SharePoint tool whenever a user asks about the HR policy record or request information stored in a SharePoint list. And these are the some rules I defined. Always use the SharePoint tool to retrieve the live data. Do not answer from memory or make up information. This is why I added. For example, if you ask, so if you ask to the agent, if the agent do not have the correct knowledge source, they might be provide a wrong information. That's why I added this rule. Return only the record retrieved by the tools. If multiple records are found, summarize them in clear bulleted list. If no matching record are found, respond no matching record we are found in SharePoint list. So this is the instruction we gave, right? So now what we need to do, click on this preview. So this is the previous chart. What I'll do, I'll click on new chart. So now we'll test our agent. So this time I will ask, show me all RTB policies. So once we'll click on this one, you can see it here. It is working on it. Now it is using the get item action to retrieve the record, whatever the record is present, and you can see it is giving a tabular format that record, right? All this record, and these are the all active record present in that SharePoint list. If you go to the SharePoint list, I'll close this one. You can see all the active record, and if you select all record, you can see the count is 10, right? And here if I go to the agent, you can see the count is 10, right? Next, what we'll ask, which policy was updated most recently? Once I'll click this one, you can see it is searching in the knowledge and it is showing this one. As you can see, it is showing this one. So let's go to the SharePoint list. Here I'll click this newest order. And as you can see here, this is the policy which agent gave, right? And you can see it is the correct. It is matching the correct record. Now you notice that this is reading directly from the SharePoint. If I update the row, the tool will return the latest data, right? So let's check that one. So what we'll do right now, so I'll go to the SharePoint list. This is the SharePoint list. This is the annual policy, right? So I'll click on this one, and here instead of 20, I'll change this one to 25. Now it will become 25, right? So now we'll ask this HR this annual policy questions in this chat. Now here I'll ask what is annual leave policy. Once I'll click on this one, you can see now it is showing the 20. But because why it is giving 20? Because it is already loaded that get item action. So what we need to do, we'll click on this new chat. Then here I will ask what is the annual leave policy. Now it will retrieve the information. You can see it is here in the get item action. It is retrieving that one. And here you can see it is giving the result, right? Now you can see it is giving 25. That means it is working perfectly fine on live data, right? Now I think in your mind it will comes which one we should use, right? If your user asks what is our leave policy, what is the travel policy, use the knowledge source. If the user asks show me my leave request, show me pending invoices, show today's task, use the tools. In real project, the best solution is usually to combine both of them. Knowledge answer the information questions, the tools retrieve the live business data, right? And the best practices is always use the knowledge source for policy, HR document, PDFs, Word file, trending document, company guidelines, right? And use the tools for orders, invoice, tickets, task, inventory, employee record, approval. Anything that changes frequently, right? If this video helped you to understand the difference between knowledge source and the SharePoint tools in Copilot Studio, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss the future tutorial. In the next video, we will explore more advanced Copilot Studio scenario using SharePoint, Power Automate, Dataverse, Microsoft 365 integration. And I'll also provide that SPGuide.academy link in the description below. You can check it out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.